notion, put the notion in motion by running laps. Just like we run a meeting or run a, but when you go out and run with people, somebody picks up the lead for a while, and then so just using that metaphor in a way like that, because we use the word running. Let me run an idea by you. That we use the word so many ways, and then you begin that by lapping in. So lap in would be sharing like what's in your lap. But it's a kind of ancient way. In most cultures, people share who they. I'm the Bear Clan. I'm with who are you? And so I say it's an open invitation and intention to open heart, open mind, open source, open space, open game, and to sort of unpack that up going backward, the possibility of win-win. And one way to do that is to go win-win-win. The big win, our win-wins amongst each other, we can get at by thinking, well, what's the big win for everybody? And the idea of open space, you can have open space. To some people, open space is that field in the park, you can play soccer or baseball in it. And then there's the idea of open space where people don't go, and open space in our mind space. Is there some part of our minds that has not been totally colonized by Lego and Disney but there's a fella, Harrison Owen, he's in his 80s now. He was one of the first people tapped to train the first group of Peace Corps folks. I said, Harrison, we're sending you 1,600 kids. You got them for 3 weeks, and then they're going to villages in Africa. Figure out something for them. Because he had done these, community building programs for years. But finally he decided to take a cue from the Africans who would come and meet around the tree and figure it all out and then break out. So he created what he called open space technologies. And it was, because all the conferences he planned, he found in the end, people said the open spaces were the best times. So it has 4 principles and 1 law, and the principles are, it begins when it begins, who's there is who's supposed to be there, what happens is what's supposed to happen, and when it's over, it's over. So it takes away all that, well, it wasn't, and then the law is the law of 2 feet. If you don't feel like you're contributing or learning, get up and go somewhere else. And so I think that notion of open space, and then their sort of the protocol of it is they put papers out in the center of the circle. They always get in the circle as much as possible. And if people have an idea for a workshop or a segment, they go and take that paper and write down what it is and say, I think we ought to do a thing, and go put it on the grid. So that's the way to do that with a lot of people over a longer period of time. But the point is, if there's something that you feel it would be good to address, as the group, well, put it out there, or forever hold your peace, sort of thing. And the open mind, I think, open source is this idea that some things are created and owned and trademarked, but open source is the idea that no one owns it, and anyone can improve it, and everyone can use it. So what comes out of running a lab is something that it's shared. And open mind, I think we all have our ideas about what that is, but one thing I think it does include is sort of getting both hemispheres of the brain going, our insides and our outsides, our subjective and objective, because often our conversations get limited to one of those. And open heart, well, open heart is open heart. So that's a little rundown on lapping. And if we're going to watch something, but we could go around just to run a real quick lap and everybody say your name and put in a good word for the day. So I'll say, my name is Max, and my good word is open.
Oh my goodness. My name is Courtney, and my good word is just fun.
My name's Crystal, and my good word would be grateful.
My name is Brian, and my good word would be respect.
My name is Aniesa Njigega, and my good word would be believe.
My name is Heather McBride, and my good word is courage.
My name is Doug Anders, and my good word is inspire.
My name's Kathy Ricker, and my good word would be grateful.
My name is Stacy Bratt, and my good word would be encourage.
I'm Silke Kindle, and my word would be positivity.
I'm Binford Stanley, and y'all took all the good words. I'll say, I was led to knowledge after, by the time several of my words are going through my head now, and knowledge.
My name is Rob, and mine would be captivate.
My name is David Amram, and my two good words are be creative.
Oh.
Yes.
My name is Ivan Savanjev, and I guess my four words would be make art, not excuses.
My name is Dawn, and I have several words, helping others, being of service to others.
My name is Chris Call, and my word is acknowledge.
Cool. So
Yeah.
should we watch
in fact, it fits even all what we're saying, and it shows the creativity. I've mentioned we didn't get to show this last night, so this is a special showing at the film festival of her. And she was, within the festival, of a lot of music videos that we found of independent artists. Angie's just was great. Besides all the work I told you she does for humanity and creativity, and a dancer and a choreographer and a producer and a YouTuber and and she's multicultural. You're from where again?
I was born in Albania, lived in Greece, Italy, Germany, New York, and then here.
Yeah.
Traveled with work as a dancer at the beginning, and now I sing and act here. I'm a model, I'm a humanitarian, I'm a choreographer, I'm a writer. Everything that I love, I do it. You know, it's just...
And that's what's throwing all the major record companies out the side and saying, we're going to do it ourselves. What I see with the new digital technology and the low price of it, this is 1977 for filmmakers and for young artists. It's all starting all over again. We do need the Hollywood system to have them go down to San Diego Comic-Con, get their newest superhero, give it the role to Angelina Jolie so it can fail at the box office. We need that, but it gives everybody else a chance to create their own art, and in such a multimedia fashion. And that's, in my opinion, is one of the values of what you're doing, and the value of it to the entertainment business and music especially. So that's
Can I say something?
Yeah, I think we should let
that
go ahead and
begin.
be
Yeah,
open and go ahead and put it in. We're all the panel.
Yeah, right.
Just for all of you who are filmmakers, and I guess everyone here is a filmmaker who has a friend who's a filmmaker. As you know from my award yesterday, I'm just turned 81, I'm a composer. And someone here said, man, after you did The Manchurian Candidate, did you stop writing music for films? I said, I still do them occasionally. I'll try to make it short, but in 1962, after I did that film with Frank Sinatra, I was offered 7 films in 1 year. And I said, well, you know, I was only 31 years old. I said, you know, I can't write that much good music, orchestrate it, conduct it, get the musicians together, and really do a good job musically, or to help the film, to enhance the film by doing something that would be part of it and also be something I'd be proud of. And they looked at me like, man, who is this sick? Anthropomorphic, did we get a sword maker? And so the person said, well, he said, in case you don't know it, that's why you have your ghostwriters and your orchestrators. I said, I don't use a ghostwriter or orchestrator, I'm a composer. Then they really looked at me like I needed mental help. And I flashed, if I went for that, 5 years down the line, if I were lucky, I'd be the ghostwriter for the next David Amram when they got sick of me. So thank God, and I can say it because I'm 81 years old, I followed all my career death wishes and did what I've been doing, which is trying to still be in the music field and still doing that. The point is, for all of you who are filmmakers, first of all, I did one for Marcia McLuhan's daughter, a wonderful film she did about Baja Khan, the frontier Gandhi, who's Gandhi's right-hand man. And she wanted to do something like, well, you know, you're from Albania, this was like the orchestra, the Bulgarian National Starving People's Prisoners Orchestra, they get like $5 a day. And she wanted, you know, have
that was our union, man.
140-piece, and I write symphonies to do a lot, 140-piece orchestra. I said, you know, why don't we get like 18 really good musicians in New York City and pay them union scale had the greatest players I know from the Met Opera, the Philharmonic, and jazz, and Middle Eastern and folk players, yet the best people in the world to have it be smaller, which is what I did. And the musicians union was so shocked, they wrote an article that a composer actually was doing something in the USA for less people. And now, beyond that point, if you're a filmmaker, there are Afro-Cuban players, drummers, not only from Cuba, but born in this country, and people that aren't even Latin who can play up a storm. There's the folk, where Bedford and I met at the Kerrville Folk Festival, there are enough good songwriters, singers you can meet around the campfire of a genius level that can play, sing, do everything, that would love to work on a film. When I do all the programs I did as Jack Kerouac's accompanist, I go around to all these schools and places, and the young people who like to play with poets who are stupendously accomplished and are interested in films and interested in working with other people. And you can find someone who's never done a film score, never composed anything. There's hundreds of thousands of composers with PhDs who can't get their music played anywhere. So the point is, you don't need a synthesizer. You don't need a flunk out from law school with a drug habit to force you to use some piece of crap or something that, by definition, they can't stand hearing themselves. But just completely go as independent with the music part as you are independent with making your film, getting your own script, with getting actors who might not have ever acted. Fellini did pretty well with that. And find all the musical talent that's here that never got a chance to get arrested, who would love to work on a film, and then sit down with them and say, look, I think maybe you should start here and end there. It should be happy, sad, and slow. And why don't you look at it and see what you can come up with, just an instinct of where you think the music is starting to stop. And it's amazing what a good score you can get for practically nothing. And at the same time, the payoff to whoever composed that, or performed and composed the music, whatever, would be for them to have a whole life to get out from their gig in the post office. I did that too, so I understand the psychological problems of day jobs at one point. You know, and give somebody a chance to be creative and something left, but a whole world full of people with an aesthetic sense who would like to have something better, and all the people who would like to make a contribution. That's never happened before in history. So no one has to be in what I call the penitentiary of bad taste anymore. You don't have to be enslaved by the foul taste of other people who are culturally deprived, whose genius was getting the gig, to be able to be in the position to determine what the world is going to see, but who themselves are a genius at keeping the gig and getting it, but have no concept of anything about art, music, poetry, painting, cinema, or what people can even feel, because they're themselves not in a position mentally or spiritually to receive anything. And we also have to realize none of us are any different than them. We're just more fortunate that we ran across somebody in our life that said, hey, you know, maybe you can do something. I just wanted to say that because I think it's important. When you get career counseling, it's always like, how do you get the big person to do it for less money and so you could be launched into being part of that cesspool? And it's not really necessary. And the amazing thing is some things are done that way and even get out there to a huge public and can even sometimes make some money. But the idea is essentially to make something good, something beautiful that has lasting value, something that's built to last. I just wanted to say that because I think that's important.
Yeah.
And as a professional,
Beautifully said.
Professional
I could see. But in the voices of senility, I mean wisdom, or to hang in there, be creative, and follow those career death wishes, and do what's in your heart, and really try to do better than is expected. Just like Bach did when he had his club date to write the music for the Margrave of Brandenburg, for what they called the Brandenburg Concertos. That was like a club date, and they didn't have a DJ, so they said, write us some music while we're chowing down. If you could go on the internet and find out what the Margrave of Brandenburg served for that meal, you're a better researcher than I am. But we got the Brandenburg Concertos because Bach outdid the nature of his gig. And that's what all of you as filmmakers can do, and tell that story. And for the music part, get some terrific person who's never even done a film score who would like to get to do something, and the chances are you come up with something a whole lot better than you would otherwise.